We all have too much to read. We all have FOMO, so we keep picking up all these different series and we never end up finishing them. In front of me, I have 8 completed series that I have begun that within the next 12 months I would really like to finish. I have 7 series that I would like to start that are also completed. I have 4 series that I would like to take another run at, and one completed series that I would like to reread if I have the time, and 2 ongoing series that aren't completed that I would like to start, that I'm excited for. So here we go. I think first I'll go into the ones that are completed that I really need to just finish because I have like 1 or 2 more books left to go. First one would be in the expanded EU, and these are going to be fantasy sci-fi type books. For all of these, not especially like the historical fiction and things that I want to get through, but I do need to get to the last of the Thrawn trilogy. I could have done Darth Bane and some other things from the Star Wars EU, but I really need to make sure I finish this one. Then I'll pepper some other ones in as we go. I added this one into the list because it will be completed, I think, within the next 12 months. I would really like to do more Red Rising. I did the first 3 books, and then I have the last 3 books leading up to the final one. I really would like to get back into that. Next one, I'd like to finish Philip Chase's Edan trilogy. I really liked the second book quite a lot. Looking forward to the third book. Ooh, man, I gotta get a new cord for that, don't I? I'm already looking into the reread of this whole series because I just love it. And the more I look back on it, the more I think I'll enjoy that reread experience. This is one where I have one more book to get to before the release of the last book in November. So I will for sure be done this series this year. Banger series. I need to finish this. The Sword Saint, which is in the Empire of Salt trilogy. The first 2 were amazing. And yeah, I'll finish that sometime. 3 more to go of the completed series that I would really like to finish. The next one is in the Elric saga. I'm only a book in. Another one that sometimes I put off series when I know I'm going to like them because I just want to see what else I will really like and pepper those in. But then I forget about the ones I know I'm going to like, and as time goes on, my interest in them wanes, and so I really have to just get to these, and they're really small. Really small. So I'll get to those and I'll finish those. Next one, I would really like to finish The Expanse this year. It is a lot of books, but at least I could get through the first 5. Loved the first one and thought I was going to really rip through them, and just haven't really picked up the next one. So shame on me. And the last one is the reread that keeps on going. It is for Malazan. I'll talk about Malazan again in this video, but I really want to get through the reread of this series, which if someone was going to ask me what my favorite series is, I would probably say Malazan, even though there are some other contenders that are being written now and that I have read the first book of or a few books of that probably could take its place eventually. So those are the 8 that I have started that I need to complete. Now, here are, how many are these? 7 that I would like to start that I've never ever read. Actually, I could probably throw another one in there. The first one could be A Song of Ice and Fire. I've never read a single book from that. I've never watched an episode from that because I figured, little adult content, but I'm sure the books are amazing. So I don't know. Maybe that would be a thing that if maybe I would pick up one and read one. Probably won't watch the show though, ever. So Black Company, that's one that I would like to start because of its influence on the genre. I could throw in a number of these other ones from like the 70s, 80s, 90s. Like Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss and Raymond E. Feist and all those I would like. Those are open for being thrown into the mix. Okay. Another one I would like to really get to and finish this year, at least get to, would be Bernard Cornwell's Winter King. His King Arthur retelling. I've never gotten to this one. Gotten to a bunch of other Arthur retellings, but never that one. This one might surprise you. I've never actually read any Wheel of Time. I know it's a little bit of a slog through the middle, people say, but I'll eventually get to it. My buddy gave me all of these to read, and he really likes them. Man, they're freaking huge books, so I'll eventually get to that, and you can let me know what you think of it. I technically have already read the first book in this. It's adjacent to the Malazan Book of the Fallen, but it is Ian C. Esselmont's little series kind of going on. I think it's finished by now. There's like 6 of them. I don't know if it's actually finished, maybe. Shoot. Maybe it doesn't qualify for this particular list, but a big reason why I'm wanting to finish Book of the Fallen, my reread, is to get to more of these side things. I do want to be a completionist with Malazan and getting to everything. I've read The Tales of Beauchelain and Corwell Broach. I've read that stuff. I've read Knight of Knives, and I really want to get to, like, this is always looming, but I do want to get through my reread burst. I have read the first era of whatever you'd call it of the First Law a few years ago. Vulgar and violent, but like amazing and so entertaining. I do want to get to the standalones. I really love the Count of Monte Cristo, so I've heard Best Served Cold is a worthy sort of successor in the way of Vengeance, which those books can often be very entertaining as a motivation when you just hate the villains and you want us to get back at them. You want the main character to get back to them. That's a powerful motivator in a lot of books and movies and things. And then I want to get to this second, whatever you'd call it, the second trilogy. I'd like to be a completionist with that as well. I would like to get to, technically I've done the first book of Robin Hobb's Fireseer trilogy. I think I need to reread it because it's been a while, and I'd like to take another run and at least finish the first 3 this year, and open it up to reading the rest on in the next 12 months after that, or whatever. But I'd like to read the first 3. And the last one, because I'm such a fan of The Will of the Many, I would really like to get to the Licanius trilogy from James Islington. I know this is a bit hit and miss with a lot of people. From what I've heard of it, which is pretty, I've tried to keep away from details on any of these series. I don't like looking at the back blurbs, but some minor recommendations I like. It seems like something that would be right up my alley, so looking forward to that one. And I think I would like to start it and end it. Boom, 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 just 3 in a row. Okay, let's see. 2 books that or 2 series that I'm most excited for. These aren't completed series, but I'm most excited for it. So excited for the sequel to The Strength of the Few. This will be one that I keep kind of rereading, probably several times. I really like it. I think it's just fantastic. And the second one, I started the next. Look at that. That third one's as big as my head. right? Holy crap. But I started with The Fall, which was the prequel to The Bound and the Broken. And then I read what is it called? I'm going to do a shot in the dark. The blood that sizzled on the winter snow or something. I don't know. But I read that. It was another little 30-page, the blood that cooled on this. Oh, I don't know. It was about Vars. I don't even know if I was supposed to read it yet, but it happens before the first book. And I am very excited about this series because of the very little things that I've read about it. With the prequel, The Fall, and then this next thing, they were bangers. And then the praise that I've heard of it. Now, first, before doing anything, actually, I'll do the reread. I know a lot of people give John Gwynne a lot of guff or whatever, but I really liked The Faithful and The Fallen. This is the quartet that I would like to reread this year. I really liked it. And then if I end up really, if I end up liking it enough this second time through, maybe I'll take another run at the sequel stuff. I think when I went into the sequel stuff, like of Blood and Bone? A Time for Blood? Yeah, of Time for Blood and that, whatever. I had forgotten a lot about this quartet, but I think it's great. I think all of them are great, especially the last two books. Really, really good stuff. I could recommend these to a lot of people, and I think they're worthy of the praise that they get. Okay, so the 4 series that are completed, I think, that I would like to take a run at. And I have another. I think I should throw the Dark Tower back in there. Maybe when I'm feeling, every once in a while I think about Wizard and Glass again, and I just get sick of Stephen King's writing. His content is so like gross to me at times. Like, that's kind of the thing that maybe is appealing to a lot of people, but it's just so like, it's so juvenile and gross for a lot of things. But I think I would take another run at the Dark Tower to at least finish Wizard and Glass, which people really love. And I really love Roland. I love aspects of the series, even though I really love the first book and didn't love the second and third quite as much, which I think people usually have the inverse opinion. So that makes me not as compelled to continue if like the stuff that people are loving is not the stuff that's connecting with me. But I think that'll be on the docket eventually. I don't know when. Another one I would like to take another run at is Stormlight Archive. It was a similar experience where I really liked the first one. And then the second one, I started to do a little bit of audiobook, and I lost some of the interest in the series. And by the end, I kind of wasn't as interested in the second book as I was in the first book. So I think I'd like to take another run at from the first book to the second. And that's another thing. I think I just need to do no audiobook all year because it never works out for me. Even when I'm listening to it and reading, it just becomes passive, and I never enjoy it as much that way. Even if the actors are, the voice actors are great, I almost never, except for my favorite one so far was the dramatized, however you say that. I did like when I read, I did do that and read the first 3 books of Red Rising on my reread that way, and it was super fun. I loved it. So I'd like to take another run at Stormlight Archive and get through to the 3rd book, 4th book, and 5th book. And I know it's mixed stuff with the 5th book, but I don't think that's a reason not to get into it at all. I would like to take another run at Gene Wolfe's Shadow, Book of the New Sun. and read the first part twice and liked aspects of it, but really just didn't get the appeal. So I think I'm going to keep going though, and they're not there. It wouldn't be super long to get through, so I think I would like to get through all of it, so I at least can say, um, maybe it will be one of those things that once I get to the end, I see it, and then it becomes like a favorite from then on. But I don't know. I liked aspects of it a lot. And the last book that I will bring up that I would like to take another run at because everyone seems to like it, and I kind of didn't, and I wonder how much of it was because it was another thing, I had audio also kind of going during when I was reading it, and I don't know if that maybe took some of my enjoyment away. Also, real life happens, and when you're stressed out about something, at work or whatever, and this happened with this series, it kind of takes away. But I'd like to take another run at the Dragonbone Chair. What is the series name? Shoot. Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. I'd like to take another run at doing this whole thing and maybe continuing on. Because I do occasionally think of elements of that book that I really liked. And, I like it more after the fact thinking about it. And I keep thinking about the second book, even though I did a review saying how much I disliked it. So, anyway, I think I'll take another run at that. So, those are my mostly completed series that I would like to complete, would like to start, would like to take another run at, would like to reread. And, yeah, that's everything, right? Yeah. So, which of these are on your list of to complete or to start or whatever? And which ones would you recommend for me, knowing the types of things that I might maybe like, that I could maybe consider to start? Because even though these are my completed things, I will still pepper in some standalones, which I really love a good standalone, and I will, some new series will come up that I'll really want to start. So I maybe will have room for a few of these things as long as I finish the completed series that I have said that I would finish. So talk to you guys on whenever. I'll be gone for a couple weeks, but it doesn't mean I'll be gone from the camera for necessarily a couple weeks. So talk to you guys later. Bye.